like Panini, Pingala is another great name in ancient India. Pingala is the person who systematized the Chandas Shastra, the other Vedanga. He wrote the Chandas Shastra, the Chandas Sutras, which give the theory of prosody both of Vedic meters as also of the classical Sanskrit meters. We again do not know, like in the case of Panini, the exact date of Pingala. Generally scholars place him around 300 before BCE. So in this talk I will give a brief overview of the development of Chandas Shastra, then we will go into the nitty-gritty of what is meant by Guru and Laghu syllables. How do we scan a syllabic meter or a Varna Vritta in terms of the 8 ganas, and then we go into the combinatoric ideas that were developed by Pingala in the last chapter of Chandas Sutras. These are known as the Pratyayas. So Pingala discusses 6 Pratyayas which are combinatorial techniques or combinatorial tools for studying the Sanskrit meters: Prastara, Sankhya, Nashta and Uddishta, Lagakriya, and these are the basic Adva Yoga is another one. These are the 6 Pratyayas of Pingala, we will discuss them. Chandas Shastra again has a continuous history. Pingala's is the classic work. Bharata's Natya Shastra has a chapter on Chandas. Then mathematical works like Brahmagupta's Brahmasputa Siddhanta has a Chandas Chiti Adhyaya. The what are called the Matra Vrittas were introduced and discussed more in greater detail in the Prakrit work called Vritta Jati Samuchaya by Virahanka. Halayudha wrote a very interesting commentary on Pingala's Chandas Shastra. The text that is most commonly studied by students of Sanskrit is a book written around 1000 AD by Kedara Bhatta. It is called Vritta Ratnakara. Hemachandra wrote again on Prakrit meters also. Prakrita Pingala is another text. The mathematics books like Mahavira's Ganita Sarasangraha and later Ganita Kaumudi of Narayan Pandita also discuss problems related to the combinatorial problems related to Sanskrit meters. Then we have Damodara's Vani Bhushana and a very interesting commentary on Vritta Ratnakara by Narayana Bhatta. So we will straight away go into what is the way in which Sanskrit meters are understood. The basic building blocks of studying Sanskrit meters are the characterization of syllables by Laghu and Guru. So what is a syllable? So you take anything, so Srishti that is there, this consists of 2 syllables. Sri is 1 syllable, Shtihi is another syllable. So a syllable is either a vowel by itself or a vowel preceded by a group of consonants. Now these syllables are of 2 types: Laghu, the short syllable, Guru, the long syllable. A consonant with a short vowel is a Laghu, unless it is followed by a Visarga or by an Anuswara or by a conjunct consonant. A consonant with long vowel is always a Guru. In the end of each foot of a meter, the last syllable can be optionally taken to be Guru. So this is the definition. Obviously it will not be clear if we merely state it. So let us take some very interesting words, the invocatory words of Kalidasa's Abhigyana Shakuntalam. Ya Srishtihi Srashturadya Vahati Vidhihutam Ya Havir Yacha Hotri. So this is 1 foot of this meter, it has 21 syllables. Now let us understand what are the Laghus and Gurus in this. So first Ya Srishtihi, so first one is Ya. So obviously it is a Dirgha, a consonant with a Dirgha, that should be a Guru. Second Sri, now looked at itself it should be a Laghu, but it is followed by a conjunct consonant sta. So srishtihi, so followed by shti, therefore sri becomes a guru. Shti, shti again by itself should be a lagu, it is a short vowel, but it is followed by visarga, so it is shtihi, so that is again a guru. Srashturadya, so first sra, it is again followed by shtu, therefore it is a guru. Shtu is the first lagu in this. So ya srishtis srashturadya, so it is this shtu which is really looking very complicated, a conjunct consonant followed by a short vowel, that is a lagu. Dya is guru, vahati, all these three are lagus, vahati. Vidhi hutam, so till you come to tam, which is ta followed by an anuswara, therefore it is a guru. Ya havir yacha hotri, ya is guru, ha is lagu, vi should be lagu, but it is followed by riya, therefore it is followed by conjunct consonant, that is a guru. Ya is a guru, cha is a lagu, ho anyway is a dirgha, that is guru, 3 is end of the pada. Now the important thing is all the 4 padas have the same laghu guru structure, that is the basic point of what is called a varna vritta or a syllabic meter. Ya srishtis srashturadya, vahati vidhi hutam, ya havir yacha hotri, yedve kalam vidhattah, shruti vishaya gunaha, ya sthita vyapyas vishvam, ya mahus sarva bija, prakriti riti yaya pranina pranavantaha, pratyakshabhir prasannas, tanubhiravatu vas, tabhirashtabhirishaha. Now the way to read it, actually we will see it in a minute. The points where you have to pause is also defined in the definition of a meter. This meter is actually something called this Ragdhara meter, one of the very beautiful meters in Sanskrit language. It is also used in several of our South Indian languages in versification, other languages also. So this Ragdhara, its definition itself is given in terms of some units called ganas. Instead of saying Ragdhara is given by G G G G L G G L L L L L L L L G G L G G L G G, the way to define this can meter in terms of what are called ganas. Ganas are units of 3 syllables each with a particular structure of laghu guru. So brabhnair yanam trayena trimuniyati yuta sragdhara kirtiteyam. So the second part is very simple. Trimuni yati yuta, 3 muni, muni stands for the number 7. So there is a yati, there is a pause after each unit of 7. After each unit of 7 syllables, you should pause. So trimuni yati yuta sragdhara kirtiteyam. Sragdhara is characterized by a pause after it's a meter of 21 syllables. There is a pause after every 7 syllables, and it has Brabhnair yanam trayena. It has these ganas ma ra bha na ya ya ya. Now what are these ganas? So 3 syllables, each syllable can be laghu or guru, therefore there will be 8 possibilities. So there are these 8 ganas, and they have been given these names ya, ra, ta, bha, ja, sa, ma, na. And how to remember that? One way is to remember this verse. Adi madhyavasaneshu yarata yanti laghavam bhajasa gauravam yanti manautu guru laghavam. Adi beginning, madhya middle, avasana end. So the ganas ya, ra and ta have a laghu at the beginning, middle and end. So a gana with laghu at the beginning, which means other 2 are guru, a gana with laghu at the middle, a gana with laghu at the end. So they are called ya, ra, ta. Yarata yanti laghavam adi madhyavasaneshu. Bhajasa gauravam yanti. So the ganas bha, ja and sa will have a guru at the beginning, middle and end. Manautu guru laghavam. The magana is all guru, the nagana is all laghu. So these are the 8 ganas. In terms of these 8 ganas, all classical meters are characterized. And of course, if it is not divisible by 3, you will say so many of these ganas and followed by a guru or a laghu or whatever. And the beauty is this definition is also couched in the same Sragdhara meter, the meter which it is defined. Brahmair yanam trayena trimuniyati yuta Sragdhara kirtiteyam. So this definition of the meter Sragdhara is also versified in the Sragdhara meter. It has ma, ra, bha. Ma is GGG, ra is GLG, bha is GLL, na is LLL, ya as you can see is LGG. There is a triplet of LGG, 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 LGG. Yanam trayena, ma, ra, bha, na, yanam trayena, 3 yas. So this is the characterization of Sragdhara, and so that is the ya srishtis rashturadya bhati vidhyutam ya havir ya chahotri. That is the way this Sragdhara meter is constituted. Now there is another very nice mnemonic to remember the ganas. This is a formula which is attributed to Panini. This is a formula which you will not find in any classical Sanskrit work on prosody. So for I think 4 or 5 years ago, I think Donald Knuth, I think the great computer programming teacher, he wanted to know where did this Yamata Rajabhana Salagam is the mnemonic, where did it originate. So various people searched. So there is a book on Telugu prosody by a man called Charles P. Brown, written in 1840s, where he has quoted this, but almost all students of Sanskrit know this is taught orally by everybody, and generally it is said that this goes back to Panini. So what is this? Yamata Rajabhana Salagam. In this all the ganas are encoded linearly. Yamata is the characterization of Yagana. Yamata is Laghu Guru Guru. Matara is the characterization of the Magana. It is Guru Guru Guru. Taraja is the characterization of Tagana. It is Guru Guru Laghu. Rajabha is the characterization of Ragana. It is Guru Laghu Guru. Jabhana is the characterization of Jagana, that is Laghu Guru Laghu. So Yamata Rajabhana Salagam. If you remember that, you know what is Yagana, what is Magana, what is Bhagana, what is Jagana. And now if you write replace Guru by 0, Laghu by 1, you have a binary sequence of 10 entries. If you remove the last two 1 0, which is the same as the beginning 1 0, you can put them on a circle. You have a binary sequence of length 8. Now this binary sequence of length 8 is a special sequence. This 1 0 0, 1 1 0 0 0, 1 0 1 1. So each triplet here is a binary sequence of length 3. If you put this on a circle, you will find that it generates all possible triplets, binary triplets of length 3. There are 8 of them, and such a cycle in today it is called in communication theory as De Bruijn cycle. So Yamata Rajabhana Salagam is the oldest example of such a cycle. So you can have such cycles for binary sequence of length 4. There are 16 of them. Again you can put them on a circle and generate all possible binary sequences of length 4 by a code of length 16, like that in general. But as far as prosody is concerned, the ganas are 8, and we need to know Yamata Rajabhana Salagam. Now we come to the pratyayas of Pingala. All these ganas are defined in Pingala's Chandas Sutra also. So in the 8th chapter, the last chapter of Chandas Shastra, again like Panini's Ashtadhyayi, Pingala's Chandas Shastra is also Ashtadhyayi, it has 8th chapter. He introduces the 6th pratyayas of Chandas Shastra. The first one is called Prastara. Now Sragdhara had a particular structure in terms of Guru and Laghu. It has 21 syllables. So at each place you can have Guru or Laghu. A particular choice has been made and you obtain the meter Sragdhara. But you want to know like a mathematician that Pingala was. So, what are all the possible meters with 21 syllables? Can we write them down? Can we understand something about them? So, these pratyayas are basically dealing with, these questions are called questions of combinatorics, and Indians were one of the greatest specialists in combinatorics. So, whenever they had various things, the first question is how to classify them, how to put them in a sequence, and how to understand them, what follows what. So, this is what Pingala does for all these meters. So, Prastara is a rule by which you can write down all the possible meters of a particular length. So, if the length is only 3, there are only 8 possibilities, we saw the 8 ganas. So, you have an array of 8 rows, but if you have 4 syllables, you have an array of 16 rows. If you have 5 syllables, you have an array of 32 rows, and obviously when you reach Ragdhara, it will be an array of very, very large number, 2 to the power 31. So, Prastara is a rule by which you can write down. Now, once you have written it down, then the question is, the next mathematical question is, supposing I tell you a certain row number, can you tell me what is the metrical pattern that appears there? And supposing I give you a metrical pattern, can you tell me which row of the Prastara it belongs? So, these two are mathematical questions. One is called Nashta, another is called Uddishta. It is called Nashta because if you have written down the Prastara on the ground or wherever, and then wind has blown and the Prastara has gone away, but then I want to know what is the 20th row in the Prastara of 5 syllables. Prastara of 5 syllables has 32 rows. So, I want to know what is the 20th row. So, Nashta is the problem. Without doing the Prastara once again, I should just go and write down what is the metrical form, what is the Laghu Guru sequence. Uddishta is the converse problem. Given a Laghu Guru sequence, where does it appear in the Prastara? Then there is question of Sankhya, which already I have told you, it is 2 to the power n. Each slot, each syllable can be Laghu or Guru. So, if you have n syllables, the number of possible meters is 2 to the power n, that is the Sankhya. Then Laga Kriya deals with how many meters are there of say 7 syllables, of which there are 3 Gurus. So, how many 3 Guru meters are there in 7 syllable Prastara? So, obviously this will lead us to the binomial coefficients which we saw in the introductory lecture, that is the Laga Kriya. So, now we will go into each of them, and as you can see, the crucial mathematics that will appear, you have Laghu and Guru and binary sequences. So, the crucial mathematics that will appear now is binary mathematics, and Pingala was the great originator of all the binary mathematics, and this was of course rediscovered in 1990s. So, first is Prastara. So, how do I list all vrittas? Vritta is meter of a particular length. So, if you have only one syllable, there are only 2 G and L. If you have 2 syllables, you have this GG, LG, GL and LL. So, Pingala is giving a rule in a very, very codified form. He is basically saying you form a pair G below L, write that below each other and fill up the right with 2 G's and 2 L's. So, Pingala's rule is take the Prastara of the previous, put it below itself, and in the right fill it up with equal number of G's and L's. So, let us see how we get the Prastara of 3 syllables from the Prastara of 2 syllables. This is the Prastara of 2 syllables. Let us go. So, now this portion, if you see, this is the same as the Prastara of 2 syllables here, GG, LG, GL, LL, GG, LG, GL, LL. So, this portion is Prastara of 2 syllables, this portion is Prastara of 2 syllables. In the right you write 4 G's and 4 L's, you have obtained the Prastara of 3 syllables. So, Prastara should have each and every metrical form of that length should appear once and only once, and it should be a rule by which you generate all of them. So, that is the rule of Prastara. Today the word Prastara you hear mostly in music, and in a later talk on combinatorics I will tell you how the mathematical theory of Prastara in music is discussed by Sharangadeva. There is another rule for doing Prastara. This is a different kind of a rule. Supposing you start with some row of the Prastara of 4 syllables and you want to know the next row without having to start from the beginning and doing all that. So this rule is found in Vritta Ratnakara. So going from one row to next row, the rule is the following. Start scanning from the left. Once you encounter a G, put a L below. Bring down whatever is to the right as it is. If there is something else to be written in the left, fill that up with the G's. So let us do the next row. Start from the left. First time G is encountered, put a L there. Bring down whatever else there is to the right as it is. In the left, fill it up with G's. Next row, start from the left, below the G put an L, bring down what is there to the right as it is. Next row, start from the left, identify the first G, put a L below that, bring down whatever is there to the right as it is, fill up the left with G's. Like that you can go on. This is transforming one binary sequence to another in such a way that you cover all of them. Actually, this is something known as the von Neumann transformation of all binary sequences from 0 to 1 today. Something like that is what is meant here. So in this Prastara you can see that, or you can see it here. So this is the 4 syllable Prastara. Start with GG and then go down. There is one more way of doing this Prastara. The first row is, the first column is GL, 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 GL. Second column is GG, LL, GG, LL, GG, LL. Third column is GG, GG, LL, LL, GG, GG, LL, LL. Fourth column is GG, 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 LL, LL, LL. So that is what is called the, one Professor Singh calls it the Didir, or the fastest, super fast algorithm of Pingala to do the Prastara. So now we have understood Prastara. This is to list all possible metrical forms of a given length. Now we can do a small thing and see straight away the relation of this with the binary numbers. Suppose I put wherever G appears 0 and wherever L appears I put 1. Let me take the 6th row here. The 6th row of the 4 syllable Prastara. Suppose I want to take the 6th row. So the 6th row is LG, LG. I put 1 where L appears and 0 where G appears. I take the mirror of this, mirror image of this, and now you view it as an ordinary binary number today, you will get the same number. You take the mirror image of this and understand it as an ordinary binary number. So as a binary number, this will be plus 1. As a binary number, this is 4 plus 0 plus 1. You have to add 1 to it because this Prastara is starting with the first row, whether GG is the binary number 0. So you should add 1 to it in the end. So if we said G is equal to 0, L is equal to 1, it is good to remember this to understand whatever Pingala does, because we are familiar with binary numbers, we do not know Pingala, therefore this is a good way of. And then we see that each metric pattern is the mirror reflection of the binary representation of the associated row number minus 1. So this is the representation of number 5. Okay. Having understood Prastara, let us go to Sankhya. Today we know that this number is 2 to the power n. Now Pingala does not say the number of meters of n syllables is 2 to the power n. He gives an algorithm for calculating it. And the algorithm, being an ancient algorithm, happens to be one of the most efficient algorithms for calculating the nth power of a number. So the He is saying take this power. So, if you are looking for the prastara of n syllables, take the number n. Now, if start dividing it by 2. If the number can be halved, you just write 2 somewhere, just put a mark 2 somewhere. If the number cannot be halved, you deduct 1 and instead of putting 0 at that point, you put a symbol 0. So, this is where the symbol 0 appears in Pingalas. Dvirardhe, if it can be halved, put a 2. Rupe shunyam, if you have to remove number 1, shunyam, put mark 0 there. Then after you have marked all these 2s and 0s, suppose you have something like this, start from the left, dvishunye, wherever 0 appears, multiply it by 2. Tavadardhe tadgunitam, wherever 2 appears, you square the number. So, ultimately, to calculate 2 to the power n, Pingala is giving you a sequence of operations which involve multiplying by 2 and squaring. Obviously, 2 to the power n is multiplying 2 by itself n times, but what Pingala is giving you an algorithm which involves much smaller number of steps. So, let us look at it with a simple example. N is equal to 6. So, 6 is divisible by 2. So, you mark 2. 3 cannot be halved. So, subtract 1 by 3, mark 0. 2 can be halved, you mark 2. 1 you have reached, subtract 1 from it, mark 0. So, you have a sequence 2 0 2 0, and now from the right, wherever 2 appears, you multiply by 2. So, corresponding to this 0, you start with the number 1, 0 is there, multiply by 2, 2 appears, square the resulting thing, again 0 appears, multiply by 2, 2 appears, square the thing, you will get 2 to the power 6. In fact, you can justify this straight away by going back to the power. Wherever you can halve it, you can see, you can go back by squaring it. Wherever it cannot be halved, you can see it involves a single multiplication, and that is how this algorithm is obtained. In fact, Pingala's algorithm became the standard way of calculating the nth power of a number. Normally, the nth power of a number appears in simple mathematics when we calculate the sum of a geometrical series. So, in any book like Ganita Sara Sangraha or Lilavati etc., the sum of a geometrical series is given in terms of this algorithm. And so, modern scholars, when they started looking at it, they were totally dumbfounded. They did not know what was happening. Here is a geometric series, and we know that you have to calculate the nth power of the each factor that appears in each term of the geometrical sequence. And here we are asked to halve something, divide by 2, but it appeared that this actually is the much faster way. Supposing you have a geometric sequence, sum it up to 845 terms or something. Instead of 845 operations, you have something like log n. Instead of doing n operations, this after all using the binary sequence of the number n, this reduces it to something like log n. Of course, it is not the most optimal algorithm for taking a power. There are more powerful algorithms today, but they need much more complex devices. So, Pingala then discusses some few other relations which are like the summing a geometric series and things like that. What are all the number of meters up to n syllables, then what is the relation between the number of meters in n plus 1 syllables with number of n syllables. So, clearly he is very clearly aware that it is 2 to the power n, but he never tells you that Sn is the number of meters of length n is 2 to the power n in the way we would do straight away. There is another thing Pingala also does. These meters that we have been discussing are what are called samavrittas, that is all the 4. A meter is supposed to have 4 feet, 4 padas. So, the Kalidasa's verse that we saw had 4 padas. All the 4 padas, if they have the same structure of Lagu Guru, it is called a samavritta. If the first and third have the same structure, second and fourth have the same structure, it is called a ardha samavritta. And if it is not a samavritta or an ardha samavritta, it will be called a vishamavritta. And so, next mathematical problem is how many ardha samavrittas and vishamavrittas are there of length n. So Pingala deals with it in the 5th chapter of his Chandas Sutra. He seems to be a very general mathematician, as you can see. He is discussing all mathematical questions that arise. It is not that these Ardha Samavrittas were very common or Vishamavrittas are very common. He is posing the problem and giving a solution also. Samam tavat kritvaha kritam ardha samam. So we know the number of Samavrittas of n, length n, is 2 to the power n. Now Ardha Samavrittas obviously will have n. The first 2 n's are all different. Therefore it is 2n syllables, but or it is 2 to the power n squared if you want to understand it, 2 to the power 2n. But Ardha Samavrittas are those where the 2 feet of the meter are different from each other. So you should subtract the Samavrittas from that, and therefore you get the actual Ardha Samavrittas. The number is 2 to the power n squared minus 2 to the power n. If you reflect on it for a minute, you will see how this appears. So Ardha Samavrittas are those where the first line of the meter and the third line of the meter have the same structure, second line and fourth line have the same structure. So it is equivalent to having, looking at all possible meters of length 2n, but you have to subtract the possibilities where the first and second are the same, and therefore 2 to the power n squared minus 2 to the power n in the same argument will lead to the number of Vishamavrittas of n syllables to be 2n squared minus 2n whole thing squared minus 2n squared minus 2. So all this is here in these 3 sutras of Chanda Shastra. Samam tavat kritvaha kritam ardha samam vishamancha rashyunam. Rashyunam is for remove the, kritvaha stands for squaring, rashyunam is remove the number which you are squaring from what you have obtained, and that is Pingala's rule. Now we go to the Nashta and Uddishta, and basically as you can see, since the Prastara is essentially a table of converting this pattern into binary numbers, the Nashta and Uddishta essentially involve knowing a number, how to find its binary representation, and given a binary representation, how to know the number. Essentially it is the basic binary mathematics. So Nashta, Pingala has 2 rules, Lardhe, Saike, Ga. So again you want to find out the metric pattern in a particular row. So say row k of a Prastara of n syllables, you start with k. If it can be halved, mark a la. If it cannot be halved, add 1 to it, halve it and mark a ga, and go on and fill up as many numbers as the Prastara is supposed to have, and you will get the metrical pattern. So we will quickly see the example. So we had this Prastara of 4 syllables. This is the Prastara of 4 syllables, right? Meters which have 4 syllables, they are 16 in number. Question is being, so we are asking various questions with respect to this. What is the 7th meter, or what is the 8th meter, or given any meter, which row it appears. So it is good to remember that Prastara in the reference to it. Find the 7th metrical form in the 4 syllable Prastara. So we go back to the rule that we stated just before, Lardhe, Saike, Ga. So 7 cannot be halved, add 1, divide it by 2, you get a Guru. 4 can be halved, so you get a Guru followed by a Laghu now. 2 can be halved, you get Guru, Laghu, Laghu. Now you cannot stop here because you are looking for meters of 4 syllables. So do this operation once more, you will get a Guru on the right. So GLLG is the form which is in the row 7 of that Prastara. Obviously you know that it will be there, but just to demonstrate that the row 7 of that Prastara is GLLG. Of course it looks simple for the case 4, but if you have a Prastara of like Sragdhara or something, it will be an interesting mathematical problem. Now we go to Uddishta. So Uddishta is, given a metrical pattern, what is the row in which it appears in the Prastara. So again Pingala has only 2 sutras for this. Pratiloma ganam dvirladyam tatogyekam jahyat. Pratiloma ganam, you start from the opposite direction, scan the metrical pattern from the right, So, you have GLLG here, start scanning it from the right end, start with number 1. Whenever you find a Laghu, multiply it by 2. Whenever you find a Guru, you multiply by 2 and remove 1. Dvirladhyam tato gyekam jahyat. Whenever you find a Ga, you multiply by 2 and remove 1. So, this is the rule of Pingala. Start from the right. So, GLLG we have, start with 1, that is just the starting number. So, whenever you begin and you go to a G, nothing will happen. 1 into 2 minus 1 is 1. So, you have to really come to the first Laghu. That is why he is saying Pratilomaganam Dvirladhyam. You can just go up to the first Laghu that you will find here. So, first Laghu is here. So, when we find the Laghu, you multiply it by 2, 1 into 2 is 2. Then again you find another Laghu, you multiply that by 2, you get 4. Finally, you have a Guru. So, this 4 has to be multiplied by 2 and 1 subtracted, you again come back with 7. In fact, this we had seen just a minute ago, that this was the 7th metrical pattern. I have just reversed the process. Now, there is a much simpler way. Calculationally, this is much simpler. What Pingala has given is the optimal algorithm, but for us, people like us who would like to know it in relation to binary numbers, there is a much simpler way of doing the Uddishta process. So, this is described in Vritta Ratnakara. Uddishtam Dvigunan Adyan Adyat Uparyankan Samalikhet Lagustha Yetu Tatrankaha Taihi Saikaihi Mishritair Bhavet. So, to do the Uddishta process, so let us take some odd thing, GLLGL. So, this is a, or even you can put one more. So, this is a 6 syllable prastara you want to do. From the left, start with 1 and keep multiplying it by 2 at each stage. And add all the numbers above L and add 1 to it. So, add all these numbers. So, this is 2 plus 4 plus 16 plus 32 plus 1. So, that is the row in which this pattern will appear in the 6 syllable prastara. So, basically this is 2 to the power 1, 2 squared, 2 cubed, 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 5. So, you have 1 into 2 to the power 1, 1 plus 1 into 2 squared plus 1 into 2 to the power 4 plus 1 into 2 to the power 5 plus 1. And remember, if I had written this number in terms of, if I had written this number in binary code putting 0 for G and 1 for L, so this is how it will appear. And if I take the mirror image of this, if I do the mirror image of this, this is 110, 110. Now you will see this rule straight away, that each place value in binary will correspond to the power that we are multiplying. Wherever G appears, it is all 0, so you do not add. Only the L's have to be added with the appropriate binary place value, and that is the rule. Pingala does not want to give this rule. His rule is much more simpler, because you do not have to go on calculating all these powers of 2, which you do not need. So, whenever G appears, multiply by 2 and subtract 1. Whenever Laghu appears, double and keep going. That is a much more optimal algorithm that he gives for the Uddishta process. So, for GLLG again I have written down the Uddishta process. From the left, write 1, 2, 2 squared, 2 cubed. Wherever L appears, add those numbers, and that will be the. So, both Nashta and Uddishta processes of Pingala are essentially based on the fact that every number has a unique binary representation. That is, every number can be written uniquely as a sum of powers of 2 to the power n. Now, we come to the last pratyaya of Pingala, which is called the Laga Kriya. So, given in the n syllable prastara, how many meters are there which have 5 gurus, or how many meters are there which have 7 laghus? So, that kind of a question. Pingala has given just one sutra for this, Pare Purnamiti. In fact, This is the last sutra of Pingala's Chandas Shastra. And what was the previous sutra? The previous sutra was Pare Purnam. And then that is followed with the sutra Pare Purnamiti. In fact, there is some convention also that you repeat a sutra when you reach the end of a text. So many people said that this is nothing to do with Laga Kriya, it is just the statutory repetition of the sutra in the end. But the commentators and the tradition does not think so. The commentator Halayudha is very clear that Pingala is explaining how to calculate, how to do the Laga Kriya process with this sutra. So he is saying, in fact, that previous Pare Purnam, I did not explain that sutra then for you. The sutra 833 was Pare Purnam. There what Pingala is saying is the following. In fact, that has to do with the previous sutra. Dvirdyunam tadantanam, which is the number of meters of all syllables up to number n is equal to twice the number of meters which have length n less by 1. Dvirdyunam tadantanam. All meters of length 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n, the number of possibilities is twice the number of meters of length n minus 1. And then the next sutra Pare Purnam means Sn plus 1, the number of meters of length n plus 1 is just twice the previous number without that reduction of 1. So Dvirdyunam tadantanam, here you are subtracting 1. Pare Purnam, the number of meters of length n plus 1 is just Purnam, the whole of double of the number of meters of the previous length Sn. Sn plus 1 is 2Sn. These were the meanings of the previous two sutras of Pingala. But now then he comes with one more sutra here, Pare Purnamiti. And Halayudha says that this will give us the Laga Kriya process. So what is the Laga Kriya process? Halayudha explaining this, we will come to this quotation in a minute. Let us just see the way Halayudha is explaining. Halayudha says, you form this figure. How do you form this figure? First you write a square with one entry. Below that you write 2 squares. Below that you write 3 squares. Below that you write 4 squares. Like that you go on. In the first square you put 1. In the next 2 squares you put 1. Then below that, in any square you put the sum of the numbers which is above it. So here you put only 1. In 2 you put both of them, and here it is 1. So Pare Koshte Purnam, the total sum of the 2 cells that are above it is to be entered. So that is the meaning of Pare Purnamiti. So then in the next row 1, 3 is sum of 1 and 2, 3 is sum of 2 and 1, 1, 1 here, 4 is sum of 1 and 3, 6 is the sum of 3 and 3, 4 is the sum of 3 and 1, 1. And by now all of you know what these are. These are nothing but the terms which will appear when we do a plus b to the power n or 1 plus 1 to the power n. These are the numbers which appear as the various terms. And so each of them is a binomial coefficient. NCR stands for n factorial by r factorial n minus r factorial. It is a number of combination of r objects chosen from n objects. And this rule that each number is the sum of the two numbers above is essentially a recurrence relation for this binomial coefficient. It is a well known recurrence relation for the binomial coefficient. That is the Pingala's recurrence relation which is coming in Pare Purnamiti. So we can now read this Sanskrit just to feel happy that Halayudha is actually saying it. Uparishtat ekam chaturashra koshtham likhitva tasya adhastat ubhayato ardha nishkrantam kosthadvayam liket. So having written one square above, below that half going each way outside, write 2 squares. That is, both the squares should touch in the middle of the first square. So that is how these people write. Tasyapi adhastat trayam, below that write 3 squares. Tasyapi adhastat chatushtayam, below that write 4 squares. Yavad abhimatam sthanam iti meru prastara, till the number of syllables that you are considering. You are considering syllables prastara of 7 syllables, you have to go to 7th row. This is called Meru Prastara. Tasya prathame koshthe eka sankhyaam vyavasthapya. So put number 1 in the first. Lakshanamidam pravartayet. Put into effect the following recurrence relation. Tatra pare koshthe yad vritta sankhya jatam tat purva koshthayoho purnam niveshiyet. So whatever number that has come in the upper 2 cells, you put the sum of the whole of it in the next row. Tatra ubhayoho koshtakayoho ekaikam ankam dadyat. So then he explains what will be the first row, then what will be the second row, etc., etc. That is how Halayudha is explaining the Meru Prastara. Now this is the way the binomial coefficients were also studied in modern times, and this figure has a very famous name in modern times. It is called the Pascal triangle, slightly rotated. Pingala's Meru or Meru Prastara of Halayudha, you rotate it slightly, it is what is called the Pascal triangle. Pascal, the very famous mathematician, wrote a tract on this, and he discussed the properties of all the binomial coefficients coming out of it. Of course, the history of this goes back to Pingala, but there are many other cultures, the Chinese and the Islamic mathematics also have this Pascal triangle much before Pascal obtained it, and it is an unfortunate thing that all our terminology refers to events that happened in the past 2-3 centuries, and we really are not aware of the contributors to development of all our ideas. So with this we come to a end of the study of the combinatorial techniques that Pingala started, but he started really a host of problems. Now wherever once you have said the Prastara, Nashta, Uddishta, these have become, whenever you have a list of things, immediately the question is, can I give a rule by which all these can be put in some order, and then once I have put them in some order, what place each of them holds, can I do Nashta, can I do Uddishta. This is now a very common problem in today's computer science also. It is called permutation generation, combination generation. Everywhere, whatever generation involves, you have what is called ranking, unranking. So that is Nashta and Uddishta. So that sort of the virus that Pingala started has infected entire history of combinatorics, and it is everywhere this question appears, and in each place it gives rise to some very interesting mathematical properties. Here you saw the entire binary arithmetic coming out of the theory of Prastara of Varna Vrittas or the syllabic meters, and it is a very interesting topic, and that Pingala just started, and this will be seen later in prosody, other aspects of prosody. In music, it is seen in medicine, it is seen in astrology, it is seen in architecture, in several subjects. We will discuss some of them in later lectures. Thank you very much. So it is late, but you can have a few questions. Yes.
Sir, the purpose of using that mirror transformation, you know, isn't it a bit redundant because it's just a matter of how you convert
Yes,
C
yes,
cells to zero?
absolutely. You are very right. We are now doing the place value Ankanam Vamato Gatihi. The lowest thing is place value 0, this is place value 1, this place value 2. So this is 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2. So with this place value notation, this will be the. So just to make it consonant with the binary numbers as we know today, I am doing that mirror transformation. Otherwise, for Pingala that is not needed. He is doing everything this way only.
Hasn't Pingala said anything about the Advayoga type of?
Advayoga, yes madam. Advayoga is the amount of space required by the entire Prastara. So the Prastara has 2 to the power n. So there is an estimate of what space that should, because these were written on the ground. So that is why this Advayoga, that the entire Prastara is written on the ground. So how much space really you need, whether it can be written inside your house or not, or inside your compound. So a certain estimate is made of the space between 2 rows, and in terms of some Purushas this can be given. Pingala I don't think has a sutra on Advayoga to my understanding, but the commentators have explained it, but there is no great mathematical result that comes out of it, so it is not an interesting pratyaya.
Yeah, the Abhignana Shakuntalam, this thing you show.
Ah.
You show that,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Vahati, that comes, no?
It is wrong, is it?
No, I'm not saying. I didn't understand.
Oh, you want that you should ask Ram Subramanian.
It must be, what is this thing, you know, I got a confusion. Ya Srushti, Ya is G, Sru is G, T is this thing, okay? Okay, then, Sashtu Radhya, then Vahati, correct, right?
Vidhi
Vahati is
Hutam.
LLL.
Yes.
Okay, then V is L, correct, right?
Dhi
Then
is-
Dhi, why is Dhi G? Because what, Dhi is small.
He is also L. He is also Vahati Vidhi Hu.
No, Vahati is, you know, so Vahati is LLL, right?
No,
Afterwards-
not that way. This is I have written it in terms of Gana here. In
In
the
the
next,
first one you say, Ya Srushti, you know, not Gana, before that.
ah,
You see, Ya is G,
Ah.
Sru is G,
Ya Srishtihi is GGG.
G, correct, okay?
Srashtura is GLG.
Ha.
Dyavaha is GLL.
Dyavaha is
GLL.
Okay.
Okay,
Dyava,
Tividhi
okay.
is LLL. Hutam Ya is LGG.
TVD, okay.
Habir Ya is LGG. Chahotri is LGG.
Okay. I confused with, you know.
So while
I thought-
reading it, you
No,
say first in the second half, when you read it as 7-7, you read GGGG LGG. Ya Srishti Srashtu Radhya. Next you read LLLL 6 L's and G. Vahati Vidhi Hutam Ya. Then you see GLG GLGG. Ya Habir Ya Chahotri. Vahati Vidhi Hutam has a guru only in the end. The second 7 of Sragdhara is 6 laghus followed by 1 guru. That is the